Welcome to Ma's Garage.
I'm Crick.
I'm Cav.
I'm Smokey.
And on this episode, we're talking about
Aliens.
What if it's not so much smarter? What if it doesn't have this cure-all beam?
What if it's got something that looks like a ray gun, but it cures all your ailments when it shoots you with it?
What if you can go from being like a free-born earthling to being like a slave of another world?
What do you guys think you would do if you came into a face-to-face interaction? Like you were just out chilling in the woods one day camping like we do, and all of a sudden you had a little
Martian.
something you don't it may not even look like a gray like you would think, but it comes up to you guys out of the woods and it looks humanoid, but it doesn't look like something you recognize. Like, what do you think you would do in that situation?
Whatever I need to do to preserve my life, at the same time not intimidating it.
I guess I'd probably try to treat it like normal.
Yeah,
Like I do with an animal I don't know.
I would try to communicate if possible, because because of course that's what you want to do. But at the very least, like if this thing is trying to hurt me, I'm going to defend myself. If I can escape, that's goal number one.
How do you know if it's trying to hurt you though? How do you know?
It's just walking up out of the woods at this point. It's like 50 yards out and you see it just walking at you.
What if it's got something that looks like a ray gun, but it cures all your ailments when it shoots you with it?
Well, hopefully it's got some technology that it can hear my thoughts, because we're not going to be able to speak very, very, very well from that far of a distance, especially when a ray gun is a potential ray gun is in play.
It's funny you say that.
Hey, is that a real ray gun? Oh no, it actually cures cancer.
Okay.
Let's get a little closer.
There was this school in South Africa that they just released some more information on about. It got kind of covered up for a while, but these kids ran into they said an alien landed at the edge of their playground and talked to all of them through telepathy.
This was a decade ago, wasn't it? And
this was in the early 90s,
students
almost
are
20
just
years ago. Yeah. And they're following up with them all too, and they all said the same story, reported the same thing. But yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting we go to that. There's a lot of tropes about aliens that's pretty consistent. You know what I mean? But I'd probably offer them food.
What if you didn't have it though? Camping. What if you didn't have any food?
Well, I'm out camping. I should have some food.
but what if you just what if you encounter them on a hike and you don't have any more rations?
Oh, then I would just first show both my hands, just kind of like you do with a human. I'd just show that.
And what if they take that as a sign of aggression and then they attack you?
Then now if you're attacking me, then I'm gonna have to go at it. We're gonna see some dudes.
You got to defend yourself.
Well, yeah, 100%.
If it calls for it,
yeah.
But that's not the go-to,
right? Because that's where I feel that's how our government handles a lot of stuff. Where they're oh, we don't know what that is. Let's shoot it down.
I'm gonna break my finger. Here you go. Try this. Hopefully it satisfies you. I only got 9 more.
I don't know. I guess I'd try to talk to it. I'd like to think that I wouldn't, if it looked confused, I wouldn't do that. Just talk louder and maybe it'll understand me more.
Do you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Right.
Because what if it's not so much smarter? What if it doesn't have this cure-all being? What if it's literally just some dude who was driving around a spaceship, hit some turbulence, and crashed into Earth, and now he's all confused and disoriented because he just got in an accident, and he's just stumbling out of their ship. Like, what the hell is that thing?
He's
like,
Right.
you know,
he's at the concussion protocol. We have no idea. We
right.
just think he's some normal, highly aggressive. We just think they are.
They're all predator
Yeah,
alien.
they're just some highly aggressive alien, but in reality, it's just some being that's just, where am I? And
Right.
who am I? And who are you?
Because just they're smart. They could have put all their chips into space, space travel. Maybe they needed to get off their planet and they didn't learn a bunch of other stuff, but they know space travel real well. You know what I mean? It doesn't
What?
mean.
Everybody's got their things that they're good at, right?
Yeah.
What if in the course of in the future, Earth finding an ability to be able to have people leave the planet? What if we have other people from other planets come to Earth?
Because now there's all this free space.
That, or they're leaving, kind of like immigrating
Okay.
from hostile situations.
Well, that's where it kind of ties into what we had. I think it was the last episode we talked about, like, would you leave Earth or stay?
And then the people from Earth that leave Earth, that go into these unexplored places, find themselves in those hostile situations.
That's right. That's
right. What if you can go from being like a freeborn Earthling to being like a slave of another world?
It's happened on our world tons of times in history.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Everybody the Greeks became slaves.
You would have no idea until it happened.
That's where I'm saying I'm staying here on Earth because the grass is always greener on the other side. You always think you're going to dip out.
It's more red on the other side in this case.
Exactly.
I mean,
I mean,
like,
it's not grass, it's dirt.
I get we have to explore before we can like establish, but yes, I don't want to be the one that's exploring.
I think I'd like to be the one exploring, not the one establishing. Let me do the research and come back. I don't want to stay. It'd be fun to explore. It's like going on vacation.
That's the exploration part.
If you get captured,
it might not be.
There should be a party coming after you because you were with people.
Gotta go. Forget it. Rock. Look down there. Where's Luigi? Luigi!
Space travel, though, a lot of it is, at least to our understanding right now, once you're out there, you're out there. Like, the world you're coming back to is not the same world. So your trips out to outer space.
True, but if we get to the point where we can travel between galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I think you'd be able to do it without getting away with a time trap where you're coming back and everybody's like 200 years older is doing straight up teleportation, like, or teleportation.
Do you think that's the same even going to like the moon and stuff?
I think it's the moon, but by a much less extent. Like, to the moon is like probably seconds. Like, Mars is minutes.
Going to Mars, you would be older though, wouldn't you? Because you're closer to the sun.
I think it's relative. I don't know, but
This
I think
is
it's
where time
relative,
gets confusing again.
Right. I think it's relative to the mass that you're on. So I think like Earth has its own time puddle.
Time puddle. I like that.
Yeah,
it's a good way to describe
time
it.
puddle that it sits in, and then like the sun has its own kind of time puddle, and it's like I don't know. That's a good question.
Something to jot down for a time discussion later.
Because that is a good point. It's kind of similar to like Rick and Morty was making fun of it with the episode with like is it a Narnia? Yeah, it's basically a Narnia thing.
Yes.
Like going through the portal, and it's like X amount of time has elapsed from each time going through the portal.
Right.
Because it's a different universe where time moves faster or something.
You could use that to time travel to the future in a way. Like, if you could like go find a way to manipulate that, so you could like jump ahead of yourself and then like come back, and then it's like, oh, it's been 10 years, all that stuff's done with now. Like, let's just ignore the problem
really
and
can
it'll
get rid
solve
of this
itself.
Huh. So all those times I wrote that down in my journal,
So we can't
just ignoring it
we,
will make it go away.
we
Good.
can't go back in time from where we are now, but we can go forward in time from where we are now.
Right, which we're already doing. You're just
Basically.
going forward in time at a faster rate.
For everyone else except for you.
Right.
It's like click.
You go in the door, come back. Nope, cure for cancer is still not available to the public.
That kind of blew my mind on this new video I was watching about black holes and what they think like happens to you when you go in it. They say you almost get like cloned in a sense, because to the outside observer, you literally like disintegrate and get all pulled apart. But to your perspective,
You're still whole.
You're still whole. You actually go through the black hole and are falling to what they say right now, indefinitely to your singularity.
So anyone want to scream some more?
And you're just launching into space, or you're launching and falling into singularity. But this person on the outside just watched you get completely decimated.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's like you didn't technically get cloned. It doesn't break physics because neither saw the other.
This
You
time
didn't see
is
yourself.
relative.
Yeah. You didn't see
Oh.
yourself get pulled, and they didn't see you going down the hole.
When I get old, I just want to get sent to a black hole. That's what I want done with my ashes and body.
I wonder if you could sign up for that. Like people who want to like, because I thought about this in the past. Like people who like want to like euthanize when they're older or whatever. Like if you could just set yourself up for some kind of like
Yeah, think about like
jump,
if
or
you
like,
could if you could like truly like transfer your spirit amongst like a different like universe,
yeah,
like having your
Maybe that's
ashes
what happens.
dispersed into a black hole. Maybe, I mean, at the rate that things are going, who knows, 60 some plus years, who knows what can happen.
It's true. A black hole
Right.
could show up around us or move
Well-
closer to us. There is some.
And then
Doing
all
the
our
right
ashes get into it.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're on the other, if the black hole leads to another universe or another universe, it could have different physics. Like that's what they say about these multiverse theories. Like, so you could pop out there, and your skin could turn to water. You know what I mean? Like you don't.
You could
anything
turn
could
into an
happen.
animal.
Right. Like you could be returned to young. You could whatever. Like we don't know. That's
That'd be crazy. Go into a black hole, come out like you're a lion, and you're just like, oh, this is awesome. Go into another black hole, and then you're an ant. You're just like, no, go back, go back, go back.
But if you'd think
you
it'd be
go-
like the regular time, that'd be the dominant species, right?
You go back, and it makes you a mosquito. You're just like,
No, it's worse.
What if it's like a reset button, like a video game, and when you get to a black hole, you just start back as a baby?
oh,
And you're just like, here we go again.